What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the game between the Florida Mutineers and the Seattle Surge in the day one of the stage 2 of the Call of Duty League that is going to be taking place Thursday, March 18th. I'm going to be discussing this matchup, which we have seen before. We saw it in the final day of the stage 1 in the major section of the Call of Duty League. We saw this game between the Florida Mutineers and the Seattle Surge, which the Florida Mutineers actually took 3-1. We've seen this game before, and honestly, going into this next stage 2, I don't know what might have changed between these two teams that might have, changed the probable outcome of what this game, how this game is going to end up. If you guys just found this channel, I do daily fantasy sports breakdowns of the Call of Duty League. In terms of Call of Duty, if you guys never heard of Draftkings or FanDuel, this year Draftkings is having Call of Duty League contests for Call of Duty where you can make money by just watching the Call of Duty League from home, in a daily fantasy sports platform, where you basically choose players in a pool of players based on a salary system, and you go up against other players based on points and scores that are involved inside of the game. You know, it's a point system and a salary system, so people go head to head or in large contests and go up through the leaderboards to see who can get more points and thus who can make more money from the people at the top. So if you're interested in the concept, you want to make money watching the Call of Duty League, watching the esport you know and love, go check out DraftKings, and that is what I talk about on this channel. So for this matchup, this is a very cool game. I want to watch cool match because both of these teams are 1-4. As you can see here, I've noted under the screen that both Seattle and Florida are actually 1-4. Now, Florida coming into the season, they were thought of as a very strong team. They beat the Atlanta FaZe in the exhibition matches, but that proved to be not important or not relevant because as soon as they started the season, they started off on the wrong foot, and they are here coming up against the Seattle Surge with a 1-4 record, and the lines would tell us that the Florida Mutineers are the stronger team. Like I said, minus 500 for the Florida Mutineers. This is actually a pretty strong line. This is eerily similar to the previous game of Atlanta FaZe against the New York Subliners. Yeah, I indeed just checked, and it seems to be the exact same line for this game. I don't think it's that big of a discrepancy. I think Florida Mutineers are gonna win. I just don't think that it's a minus 500. I don't think that's how heavy of a favorites they should be. For those of you who know betting, the spread minus 1.5 for a minus 195 for the Florida Mutineers, and under of 3.5, and over of 3.5 for minus 200. Now, I strongly feel like the Florida Mutineers have what it takes to beat this game. They should have won this game. The Seattle Surge is in the lower quadrant of the teams. I believe the only team they're better than is probably, the London Royal Ravens, the only team they have beat. So, with that being said, I think that with Awakening and Skies and Neptune, this team should honestly just win outright. They could probably even 3-0 the Seattle Surge. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be a close series. Maybe it's a 3-2. That's what I'm inclining to feel like it's going to be. The Seattle Surge have had a terrible, terrible CDL stint ever since the Modern Warfare season, where they almost placed dead last. If they didn't place dead last, I'm not sure. But they have not had any luck in any of these games, any of these years. They need wins. So, this is the best roster they've had up to now. On paper, The Modern Warfare roster from last year was better, but that didn't work out. And they have a new roster now with Gunless, Pristini, and Looney. Octane was still in the team last year, and they're all good players, but I just don't know what's going on in this team where they don't seem to be clicking. Now, I feel that Octane at $15,000, he is the most expensive one on the slate, by the way. I think that at the captain position, he might be a little too overpriced. I think that Octane is a very good player to have in your lineup. I just don't know if he's going to pay off that 15 thousand, or I just think that for that price you could fit in another player and make room for someone else. Um, you know, and granted he might not win. I'm not too comfortable having him in my lineup right now, or against this team, even though they are the same, you know, technically they are on the same level. I just feel like the Florida Muni's for some reason are better. I just feel like they are the better team, and you know, to be fair, Octane has he's put up good numbers the previous games against NYSL. He put up 116 points. He was 9,400 for the flex position. Now he is $10,000 for the flex position. He would have delivered you money there. He would have delivered you um, good pointage if he was your captain. He's a very good AR. But he's had games where he posted up 54 against Dallas. He posted up 95 against Minnesota. 95 is not bad, but granted, you want more out of that, more out of a player that is very expensive. At his price point, I think there are other better plays in him. He's still a good player. If you find a spot for him, you could probably have him in your team. Pristini, I'm completely fading because he hasn't shown any sign of life so far. He's dead last in all of the players. Salaries, prices. He's the cheapest one. He posted 32 points against the New York Subliners last game. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I think this dude might get benched or something, or he might get dropped, but he is not pulling his weight. Um, Looney. Looney is a good player as well. I really like Looney, but at the price that they have him for the captain position, 9,200, I would never put him at that position. At the flex, they have him at 6,400. I just don't think he has the upside. He has put up a decent amount of points against teams like the LA Thieves and stuff, but those are like one-offs. I just don't think this team is good. Although they did win this search and destroy against the Florida Mutineers, which was weird because Florida Mutineers are usually very, very good in that, and Awakening always goes off in search and destroy, which I'll be talking about in a second. But this team, I don't know what is up with them. They have the talent, but they're just not clicking. I don't know what it is. Maybe Seattle Surge is cursed, but who knows? Um, Gunless, too expensive at the cap price at 12,900. Um, if I were to get a player from the Seattle Surge, it would definitely have to be either Gunless or Octane because Gunless, he's posted up decent amount of numbers for 8,600. You know, he's decent price. He's posted up 90 points against the NYSL. The last three games that he's posted, he's two of them have been 90 plus points games, 90 plus fantasy points. That is, he rarely goes pause. To be completely honest, I'm not going to be playing any of the Seattle Surge players. This might burn me because I feel like Seattle Surge they're gonna win a game eventually. They're not the London Royal Ravens, but this might burn me. Who knows? They might beat the Florida Mutineers, but I'm confident that Awakening, big wake in the skies can lead this team to a victory. So, if I had to pick a couple players from the Florida Mutineers, it would definitely have to be Awakening. He is still at his price doesn't really move that much. He was at $9,000 the game before against the New York Subliners, their game prior, where he posted up 138 fantasy points. Now, if you would have had him in your captain spot, he would have definitely got you like 200 points, or very close to that. He would have been a very good value. Prior to that, he hadn't broken 100 fantasy points since the first game of the season against Toronto. And I feel like, Awakening is bound to, start exploding. If this team's gonna start winning, Awakening and Skies really need to start going off. So if this team wins, you can bet your dollars, bet your bottom dollar that Awakening and Skies are gonna go off, both of them, because they're the key players to this team. They're what keeps the team running. SLATE completely fade him. SLATE, in my opinion, is not that great. Um, yes, at 6,000, he did deliver against the New York Subliners last game, but prior to that, he really hadn't been doing too great. Yeah, you can say his price tag is cheap, and then he pays off on his price, but he's so cheap, and he doesn't get enough points to just flat out just put him in your lineup and just hope that he can get 100 points. In most of the lineups, if you want to win, all of your players got to have like 100 points, fantasy points or upwards. Most of the time that's how that works. But sometimes he delivers on his cheap price of 6,000 the game priors, and then he delivers 60, 60, 88 points, 92 points. But I just don't feel like that's enough. And now that he's at 7,000, I just don't feel like I would want to put that money in for him. Um, Honestly, at 7,000, if he can get 90 points or upwards, if he can get 100 points at 7,000, that would pay off his price, and that would be great. That would be a great value play. But I haven't seen him do that, so I can't say he's going to do it, right? Um, Neptune, I just feel like Neptune is very expensive at the cap position, and I feel like there are other players better than him that are cheaper. At the 9,200, he's posted only two 100 plus point games, and they haven't been recently. Um, you know, Really the only two players that I'm looking at here are Awakening and Skies. And SLATE, if you have absolutely no more money, you only have 7K, you can only afford at the bottom of the barrel, I would say SLATE, because I think the team overall is gonna win. And if they win in a 3-0, he's gonna get bonus points, which is gonna make him a very valuable pick. So Awakening, Skies, SLATE. I'm going to scrap Neptune. I think he's too expensive. And yeah, for the team positions, Florida 3,800 is a decent, pick um, for the team position 3,800. Surge, I'm going to completely fade all of them. So I really do think that, Florida is a good pick for the winning team. Now, this might burn me out of any other of the games because I feel like Seattle Surge, if they're gonna beat a team, it has to be this team because I don't know that if they can't beat this team, they can beat any other team. So it's gonna be London Royal Ravens 2.0. So it is in their best interest to really try their best to beat the Florida Mutineers now. It is now or never. So these are my thoughts on this specific game. Be on the lookout for the next games. I will be covering them in the next videos. I like going into depth into each matchup for one in depth in each matchup in one video specifically at a time because I like to go into depth, um, you know go into detail about all of the matchups, all of the prices and stuff. That's the reason I do it like this. Even though the one slate that we will see tomorrow is all four games combined into one slate, so I'll be releasing all the other breakdowns of the other games as well before the slate starts on the 18th of Thursday. And yeah, if you like the content, if you like possibly making money in Call of Duty or just watching Call of Duty League games, head over to Draftkings. You know, you can make money over there. This is not sponsored. I just want more people to be aware of the Call of Duty esports scene and how you can make money by just being a fan, basically. So yeah, if you like the content, remember, subscribe, like, dislike. If you don't like the video, if you think I could do something better, let me know in the comment section or with your feedback. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks.